Alright, how y'all doing? My name is Chris Craig. Um, I am basically a life specialist. And not even so much of a specialist, I'm more of a failure specialist. I excel in surviving and thriving through failures. And I would like to say a story, man. I just got back from meeting two wonderful people. I drove 600 miles at the whim just of something that I felt was probably going to be pretty cool. And that I seen a good person. I seen a stressed person doing some wonderful things. I seen somebody else going through some horrible times in their life, man. And I hope that they conveyed or felt a little bit of, what I was trying to do by visiting. Like I really did hope. It was always supposed to be something positive. Like I really didn't go into it trying to look for anything for myself, honestly, other than the experience of putting another, a cap in my feather or whatnot of experience. But I want to tell you a story, right? Because there's a lot of men out there, man. And as men, we're used to fucking providing. Like we're used to doing a certain amount of things. As even women are, y'all have y'all respect. Y'all do it. Y'all are actually even, maybe even a step above us in a lot of means, man. But sometimes you do have to go back down to the basics, man, to actually look at a situation better and change some things that have slowly over time got completely out of control. But something happened while I was there that I wanted to say because I noticed, like, all right, I want to say something. Let's say you had, with the social media and out there, let's say that you are posting some things about your stressful life or something that you're going through. And, the situation that is hurting one of the persons and is, probably a hell of a pride shock going through, they may feel like they're not in control of their life. And then in a lot of means, when some of the base things are taken away from you and you feel like you're not in control, like there are things you can exercise the control of your outcome. Like, I've been given a death sentence. That time has been long past. Um, I ain't went to no doctors. I'm not saying that that's the thing everybody else does, and that's not really what I'm trying to say here. But what I'm getting at is you getting progressed to the stage even, and I've had a lot of death around me here recently, and life, like death, man, is a proper thing that we go through. Um, is what we do. All right, listen, man, I microdose on mushrooms. I was hating myself. I was PTSD, anxiety, depression. Like I couldn't even find a way to work. Like I have all kind of stuff. Like I've had it all taken from me so many times that the meaning of it is not so much. All right, but what gets mean to me is fucking feelings and me coming into somebody's situation, man, and making it better. Like the problem is me knowing when I'm a problem and removing myself. And we working on that on a constant basis, as we all do ourselves. We look at our past mistakes, and we define by our mistakes, man. Success just tells a fucking tag or a reaffirmation of the amount of humility that you expressed in your life. All right, real good people that I've noticed, they do not like gratitude so much, especially real sensitive people. I am a sensitive person for whatever you might think I look like. But let's say that you had this problem, right, and it was causing a problem in your pride of being an adult, and like maybe you can't do some of the basic things and you need some help, man, right? Like I would like to switch it up a little bit. Let's say that the person that's helping you that you feel maybe embarrassed about, having to, and you're going to feel that no matter what, man. That is just a natural part of life, of being in a position like the one I'm describing, right? But let's say that that position maybe brought something else into the situation, whether it be there for a long time or even a short time, and it brightened the situation. Like I don't know if you realize the fact that you were open enough as a person to accept this help that you naturally need, and that action in itself is what drawn something that could be good for the situation. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. It really is only supposed to make sense to two people. But the rest of y'all are gonna catch a little tail into this because I do believe there's some merit and there's some wisdom in it. And I just like to run my mouth. If y'all get to know me on this little thing right here, well, look here, I like to run it. Whatever. Hey man, I got a lot of wisdom. Y'all are tripping hiring your leaders from the actual elite and the wealthy. Baby, they getting out of touch with the struggle. Listen, y'all, I heard somebody say, I thankfully made it out the struggle. I hear a lot of people say this in some of the music and stuff. Baby, the only time you make it out the struggle is when you're in that dirt. But what the main thing you got to do is find the beauty in that struggle, because there's beauty in every bit of struggle we do. Matter of fact, you can't come to me looking for comfort, although I do provide comfort. All right, you can't come to me looking for love. You have to have that love in you already. You can't come to me and get happiness. All right, that comes from you. Now I can inspire that thinking on all them levels. That don't mean that I am on that level, per se. I see that there's a responsibility that men have to do right now, and we've let this shit get out of control. Now, all right, y'all say equality all you want to, but and I do know that there's our women generals and there's women foot soldiers who have been the pivotal point in many battles. Whether it was from the position of even something so low as they thought was a mate in a house that didn't have no other actual control. You did. You controlled the main weapon. You controlled the mind of your man. And that responsibility, when you deny it, you deny the accountability that'll be able to be there to guide you through life. So, like, I really just wanted to know, and I was thinking on the drive home that this person's like sitting there thinking, like, you know, like I can't control nothing, I'm embarrassing, I ain't this, I ain't that, because I'm an adult. Well, maybe you just brought happiness, the situation itself, by you accepting that. May, even for however long it chooses to last, because this world loves to rip stuff away from us and show us that we're human. Best joke I ever heard was tell God your plans. Or whatever your religious belief is. We all believe something, you know. It's kind of a thoughtless process to believe we just randomly bounced around and came from a fucking monkey. But hey, you know, I don't hold anybody's disbelief, so I see the merits in all of the different conversations. But with that being said, man, I would really hope that, and I don't know how to say it, you know, without like it looking like I'm trying to massage somebody's pride, but like, you're a good person. I hate the heck that you're going through what you're going through, really. So I just drove 600 miles, man, you know, for a stranger that I just felt was a good person from a picture I seen. And I may be retarded and I might be crazy. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I am in y'all's definitions, right? Excuse me, man, that shit got my heart a little bit. Like, I hope that even the iota of what I had intended to do gets done. And I would still even feel like a better man today. And even if they don't notice it and the intent still warmed my heart, I'm still a better man today. So, yo, I don't know how this is going to work as far as these videos and stuff. I would really like to put them, because everybody I talk to very usually benefits from some of the knowledge I've gotten. You know, you hiring a person that's always had success into a position that's going to have to take losses. So you are missing a very, very important part of the process by these elitists that y'all say that y'all, or they have y'all believing that y'all are, all y'all are doing is getting a choice between bad and worse. Like, that's not really a choice, man. Like, if y'all could find somebody like, you know, with Mahatma Gandhi and some of these other world leaders, Mandela, that has went in here and spent all this time, I'm not even saying them good dudes or whatever. I mean, we all have our thoughts on them, and we all have our good and we all have our bad. And it takes us as cohesive and more fluent people to pull the good messages out of all these bad things. And that's pretty much what I mean by finding the beauty in your struggle. We are made to struggle. When we don't struggle physically, we create a struggle mentally, so we don't go crazy. I believe this is where dementia comes from. You should see me with the old people. I give them all the hell from the, you know, when you forget and say, oh, you old. Like, I'm going to get your blood pressure running, man. We're going to have some discourse, you know. And as long as you keep on keeping it positive, and I see, you know, I'm going to keep on pushing you to be uncomfortable in a social environment. And I do that with all the love in my heart and the humility that I can muster, with a little bit of the confidence and arrogance that still comes from someone who knows that it is possible and that he's the person to do it and that it's needed. And I understand that you may not feel that way sometimes, you know, to some of the people that I'm talking to. Probably one of them I know won't never watch this because he's old. It's my dang dad. But I do this for y'all, you know. I take the strange looks. I do all that. And I take it all the time. Also for my kids. That's a whole nother series I've got planned. You're going to have to help me work some stuff out here. And I'm not going to get into specifics. We're going to talk strictly feelings and strictly energies and vibrations. That's what I'm on. I think that's kind of the important thing right now. But like, listen, as men, women have a responsibility, man, just like men do. We all have an oath and a responsibility per the sex that we are. And I think it's, you know, kind of cool, but also kind of damaging that some people are sliding in and out of between the two roles. Because at its core, you don't know what them roles are. And I'm not saying to people, because listen, I'm a very, very sensitive person. All right, in a lot of ways that I have seen interacting with them, women and me have a lot of the same mindset, a lot so than some men. Although I have come across some of the men that are like that. Why a lot of my friends are female, and because it appears that I'm such a sexual being, although I am, just not with multiple partners. It actually is a little bit personal for me. But hey, like we all want to be reaffirmed that we're good, sexy beings, or that we're people appreciated whenever we're gonna put something into ourselves. Like we want to see the return. That's what we're taught. And a lot of times, until you get older, you don't see that the elimination of time. Like some things are good now, but over time are bad, and and like the duality of the world, it'll blow your mind. But at the same time, the, listen, man, no matter what situation you go to, the devil, the hell, or the heaven in the situation is found in the details. And what I mean that is you have to strike a balance. Everything you get to, I don't care if it's someone that you love just passed. If it's been enough time where you can process it properly, and listen, you're the only one who knows that time. It took me 2 years after my mom. Hell, it might even be longer. It was all such a blur to me. I guess it still feels like it was the other day. But like, there's some good in it if you're ready to receive it. There is some, and you can't discount that. That is very important to the healing process, I personally think. But yo, man, listen, I like to put this out there, man. Like, I'm a rebuilding specialist. All right, and the fact of the professionalism or the specialist of my specific talents are catered to me. However, I'm a very sensitive person, man. As long as you're coming to me, and we all come with that first story that gets us in the door, that sounds poppable, that will less risky to put out there to explain what our problem is. And it'll never be the full thing. So we gonna have to have some interaction, right? But like, I believe I can cater almost any of y'all's addictions, man. Like the ones that are based in some type of really bad trauma that might need like some serious better help than I, then yeah, of course I'm not good for everything. And of course I ain't gonna be able to take just my situation and do it. I've done 2 other people so far. And it's always still a work in progress. I love getting the calls sometime asking me stuff, man. It makes me feel so damn good inside. It makes me feel like, what I went through it wasn't just random. It wasn't just, there was a design in it. There was a purpose to let me build up all my, what I thought was a man, all my cores, and then just take them away from me and rip them down and show me that it's not what I thought it was. I heard a while back, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was like, man, your values change as you get older. And this is true, but my core never really did. Like, them values there, I see how the picture formed between the two, by head and heart not being in a line. Like, I really legit seen this shit. And, I didn't know how to convey it so much on a day-to-day basis for somebody, for the nuts and bolts of like, you do this on this day and this on this day and this on this day. Like, so it's all going to be different. But once you get the core down that, listen, bad is good and good is bad. And this is what you need to know. Comfort is not a good thing. Comfort is not comforting. All right, comforting is stagnating. Comfort is just, you don't move. All right, well, unfortunately, the way our society runs and the way we are as people, everything moves. Even when you're sitting still, time is moving around you, being pushed through you. All right, so it is affecting you. All right, so you're never being one spot like a river. You ain't gonna never touch the same water in the same spot at the same time. Again, it's always going somewhere. But with that same thought, if you think on it deep enough, everything that you touch is everything. So in a sense, that is bullshit. But again, perspective. Why are we taught that all these material things are what generates our wealth? I mean, wealth would be the power to impose your will on the world. That would be power or success. And then it comes up to you being a good or bad, on how you want to push it out. Now, and then like the wealth that we have from getting past failures, y'all gonna penalize us for it. You want to kill them people's version that's going to explain to you, maybe in a lot worse conditions than you are going through, on ways that you can do that might help you. And y'all push us to the side like we're nothing. And listen, I understand the thinking. I really do. I always said I was cursed and blessed. I was blessed with being able to, from my diverse background, and the things I put myself into to be uncomfortable so I could grow. Didn't know I was doing it then, but this thing right here does things that we don't understand and know, just as the Creator created us to do in His image. And that is sometimes to do stuff that the conscious part of us haven't wrapped our noggin around yet. All right, so like, it gets, man, listen, I can get a little deep for y'all. Like, I've been microdosing mushrooms for 2 or 3 weeks now, every day. I went out of town, so I didn't want to travel with nothing. It's a shame that I have to fucking hide this, because I really want to give this to the world. And I will let anybody almost try it. You have to go do whatever you do. I'm not providing a drug dealer. I'm not a drug dealer. I have been, and I never will be again. I don't deal in death, and I don't deal in misery. Even though these items sometimes help alleviate that stuff, like, I'm not perpetuating yours. I'm not gonna hold it against you, man. You do what you do, dog. Don't push it in me. It's just gonna tell how I'll handle you. I don't have to respect y'all, man. I love y'all. I don't need to put an empty space where love should be. I don't need to put respect out there for it. I genuinely love you. So when you feel disrespected, it's probably because I'm having to handle you a certain way, because I see something. Maybe you don't see it. Maybe that is you need to get the shit slapped out of you. Maybe I'm feeling some type of way and feel that you, the person, just slapped the shit out of me. All right? Like, there's all kind of different variables here that y'all really don't know. All right? So, but it's not the end of the world. Some of you people need to find a gym somewhere. Maybe I'll open a store someday. Just, you're feeling some type of way. Just walk in there, and for $5, I'll slap the shit out you. Or hell, for $25, I might just just slap the shit out of me. I think there might be a thing there, because, y'all are thinking that these emotions are bad and you suppress them. Well, then they magnify, multiply, and interrupt. Bam! And now we're bad people. Listen, man, only how these people do these things to us by tweeting us any type of way, it's we let them. We're programmed to accept a certain amount of abuse from a very young age, that we do not know everything. We don't have to know everything. We were blessed with an aura that some people see, that science is now just confirming, when everybody thought everybody was, oh, crazy, you don't project nothing around you, like someone could tell something. We knew that in our hearts. We had to go to school for 18 to 20 years to tell us it didn't work, and it was impossible for us to finally put our willpower to bypass our natural inclination to know the right situation in the right time. And it can get tricky. Sometimes you don't know that you have that in you, and you don't know why something's telling you to slap the hell out this person. Because that person's aura is telling you, man, I need somebody just pow and get my fucking head back straight. Or this one right here is really, really buddy. I feel the zen like shit coming off of him, or he's popping, and man, I'm just feeling like I just, maybe need to be proven I'm mortal again. Again, if this is not y'all's feelings, man, hey, man, I understand. Please don't think I'm ever going to just walk up and slap the shit out of somebody for no cause, all right? Matter of fact, I like to go in the morning and say I'm pretty much nonviolent. But I feel the responses that my presence put on people. Men are a little bit, oh, me, they think maybe I don't know, maybe after they're women or something, or, of course we all are at all point in time. Don't get it conflicted. That don't mean that we're going to let our consciousness or our fucking good-natured just overroll our fucking reptile brain, dog, and just go in there like fucking Big Willie and just start pounding everything. Like we did that as young men to exercise it. This is why young men and stuff were exiled out the town, and, had the world wanted them to come back and put something into there, they would, and the man came back after they got their real world experience. And that's how I equate my time in prison. It was almost just akin to back in the days when you had to get, exiled out because you grew too big for the motherfucking for the goddamn village. And you get your dumb ass out here, let the world, you got a big playground out there. They get checks and balances to keep your ass in line to make sure shit gets, unilateral, and to get you to basically to fuck over there so we can relax here a little bit. Again, it's your accountability, man, that you got to notice when you get this reaction around here. Y'all, and this is all people in general. This is not just women. Y'all have to understand, man, that we are a presence. Hell, you're the thing where they put the lie detector on the fucking water and then, have it in the box and they measure it, nothing. Then someone looks at it and there's a reaction. Didn't really see exactly what the reaction was, but it was a good point to say about your focus on the world. And this has to go with all this bad shit y'all are seeing on here. You're breathing life into it, man, by giving it its existence. Somebody in my life as a juvenile did a school shooter threat. All right, I had to go talk to the school and all kind of shit. None of my kids or nothing. I got God blessed with good kids, and a pretty good head on their shoulders. Again, we'll do all that at another time. But like, you know, why do you even know this dude's name? They're telling me he mentioned some name of somebody. I'm like, all right, yeah, who the fuck is that? And then they're like, oh, you're a responsible person. You should know. No, I shouldn't, man. I shouldn't breathe any life into them fuck boys. I'm sorry. Like, y'all keep breathing them up, and then everywhere you, yeah, all advertising is good advertising, whatever. You remember that thing, all exposure is good exposure on to some extent, and they are right, because there are some confused individuals out there. And what happens is when these confused individuals out there get these soapboxes and they come together as a collective, then they can make major damage. As individuals, they piddle out. Y'all breathe life and they just keep besting it across the news, and these news people in touch with, they all know this. They have to. They were capitalizing a plan off this. You're retarded to think not so. Have you seen the zeros and the commerce that these people play in and all this stuff? You know, think about it, man. There is a design in that. There's a major design in that. Like, for real. So, like, y'all, we have to take responsibility, man. Let those who be fooled be fooled. This says that in your Constitution. The Constitution was a pretty important thing. I'm not saying it's the gospel. What I'm trying to tell you is if we stop as parents and responsible people, the indoctrination of our children, in 15 years, this problem, 20 years, these problems will fix themselves. We change the fucking world on a daily basis, man. And we are neglecting that by busting ass to work to have some fucking bullshit and neglecting teaching them young kids our ways. And Generation X, I'm talking to you, baby. All right? Fuck blaming this shit, baby. We ain't that type of people. And we the last ones out there like this, man. Y'all do realize this. And the time's running out, man. And I'm not talking about violent action, man. I'm talking about conscious accountability for what's going out there and what you allow around you, because you are the masters of your domain. All right? Point effing blank. With that being said, man, I'm gonna stop this here. I love y'all, man, and hey, if y'all like this, man, please let me know. I don't know how to promote this stuff or nothing. Help me with a share or something. Like, I from 2009 to 2019, I was in prison for 120 months, 10 years mandatory, no gang time. Basically, go in exactly 10 years, come out. And there's people done a lot more to me, and none of them have gained anything that I've gained, and some of them have gained a lot more with a lot less time. Like, you know, we all develop on difference. You know, I was no Excel master, other than at a young age I seen that it was my responsibility to take the pain from people. And I've tried, and like a young man, I messed up a whole bunch spectacularly. But any person that does spectacular shit will always fuck up spectacularly too. And y'all keep forgetting that, man, and you're downplaying people so the peoples in power don't have these powerhouse men no more. Y'all think, black people, y'all think that they ain't found a way to consciously, in the chess game of governing, right, that they haven't found a way to checkmate moves like Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Huey Newton or fuck, you know, there's a whole bunch of them, black Chinese, there's one of them from every thing out there. It just depends on how it is. You know what they tell you, man, good times create good men, and good men create hard times create good. We in the process, y'all. And y'all stop looking at these leaders as fucking victories. I tell you what, I deify somebody up on one of these laws. When you take a motherfucker in America that's been to prison, that's done all these life lessons, have learned to come back multiple times from the brink of disaster, or even after the disaster, and pick up them pieces and come back and do something positive, and that is just fucking energy positive for the world, you show me that person, man, and I'll believe in your system. I don't believe that person exists no more. I really don't. And if he's in a prison somewhere, or he's getting out of prison somewhere, and he's so hurt that he don't feel like fucking with none of y'all. Because what we do on the street is we grab something beautiful. And y'all kids from the lower communities of the life, man, y'all know, because it transpands the color. There is no racism. Racism is the dumbest term I've ever heard. At best, you're ethnicists or fucking, you know, regionalicists. All right? There's only one race, man. That's the human race. Y'all stop splitting it up, dog. I mean, honestly. At best, if y'all want to separate us, let's put all our dicks on the fucking table and we'll go big and short. How about that? Y'all want to do that? And we'll have 2 classes. Guess who gets the most attention? Listen, I'm making light of it, but what the fuck you think you're doing with, oh, he's black, he's African American. That's crazy. I thought he was American. I'm glad you pointed that out for me. I would have never have known. Hey, man, though, but y'all are tripping some point, but it's getting out of control, man. Real men's gonna have to start standing up, y'all. We've set down enough that we let them deify us. Hey, baby, look here. The best weapon's always gonna be deified. Or not deified, but like they're gonna make you into the bad guy no matter what. Of course they are. You are the most powerful weapon in the world. Why would they not attack you? To have them do anything less is a fucking laugh to your success. You feel me? And like, man, y'all like share or whatever how this shit goes. Please pass this around, man, because like I really don't want to crank too much up in some of these smaller videos. I guess people kind of look at them anyways. I'll get one that kind of goes into the beginning of how this person, came to be. I would really like to rather explain it kind of on a more personal basis with people, but like what I've been through and how I feel out, y'all need to know this, man. All y'all addicts, all y'all depression, all y'all people with poor body image, and I was all that, man. I still am in a lot of ways. But cool people make me feel awesome sometimes, and that helps me do it. And I like to grab that momentum sometimes and funnel it into something. I am a dynamo. I am a capacitor. Man, you're going to feed me an energy and I'm going to fucking amp that bitch up and send it back to you. And sometimes I need to, because I'm separating the bad from it also too now. It can't overweigh me. I'm an empath. So sometimes I need someone to hold me in and direct me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a force of nature. And like a force of nature, the balance that y'all make for all y'all shit that's all, don't go over here, it's that, don't do this, it's that, and all y'all's black and white balance, like literally that does not, like I'm going to naturally fuzzy all of that. So it takes a good woman or some good network of friends to corral my energy in and let's focus in on something positive. And I believe that we all have that friend like that. And if you don't know who that friend is, then it's probably you. And you need to get you a better base. And I don't know how you would go about talking about how we do that and find them people in our life. Like maybe y'all can contact me and let me know how to do it. I'm still searching for that. I do feel a momentum here. And baby, look here, I'm finna jump. I'm from Florida, so I'm gonna jump on that surfboard, dog, and hit back down in there. And of course, it's only gonna be 2 foot tall, so we're not really going far. Like, but I'm gonna get on that motherfucker now. Hey, y'all keep it easy, man. Keep it light. Keep it right. All right, stay tough, man. This shit's getting crazy. But we're gonna laugh a little bit if y'all are cool with it. Holler, man. Y'all be good.